Welcome back. I'm Ife Chukwumoyelu with the news. The state government official not only exhibition in the state comes as the Nigeria Labour Congress in Rivers State held a quiet Workers' Day celebration in compliance with the directive from their national body. Recall that the national body in a letter directed that the event in Rivers State be low-key because of the current political situation. The NLC said the day should be used to reflect and call for the return of proper democratic governance in the state. Our correspondent reports that a team from the state government, including the secretary to the government, acting head of service, and some permanent secretaries, attended the event uninvited but were not allowed to speak to the workers. Meanwhile, the NLC chairman in Rivers State, Alex Agwanwo, has called on the sole administrator of the state, retired Vice Admiral Ibokete Ibas, to urgently begin a peaceful reconciliation process that would pave the way for the return of the democratically elected government. Agwanwo made the call while addressing workers during yesterday's low-key May Day celebration at the Labour House Secretariat in Port Harcourt.
As workers of Rivers State, we enjoy good working relationship with our elected representatives under the democratic system of government. We also urge the sole administrator to facilitate the peaceful conciliation process that he has been saddled with to expedite the quick return of our elected representatives as it is in other states of the Federation. So I want to restate again that NLC is open to engagement for any kind of engagement that will facilitate the return of democratic elected governance in Rivers State. And we want to appeal to all stakeholders in this peace process to facilitate the process as soon as possible.
Agwanwo noted that several challenges facing the union, such as the provision of buses for the NLC and its affiliate bodies, remain unresolved due to the current lack of a democratically elected leadership.
We have some challenges which ordinarily, if we have democratic elected government today in Rivers State, our expectation is that this year, considering the difficulty in administration of our various affiliate unions in terms of transportation, we are expecting that buses will be given out to all the affiliate unions to ease the business of union activity within the state, making an appeal to the government whenever to also consider providing operational vehicles for the state secretariat and also to all affiliate unions of the Congress of NLC in Rivers State.
The Rivers NLC chairman, however, commended the sole administrator for approving the payment of increased pensioner minimum wage to pensioners in the state.
We are very happy to hear this morning from the sole administrator address that the 2,000 pension have been approved as a constitutional adjustment to all pensioners to cushion economic hardship after the minimum wage of 70,000 was approved without the pensioners not being beneficiary. Adopting the 2,000 federal government for all federal civil servants, pensioners, for the state workers is a welcome development for Rivers State workers regards to the pensioners' welfare. But we want to also appeal that the gratuity payment of pensioners should be put as a priority.
In the same vein, the chairperson of the Medical and Health Workers Union of Nigeria in Rivers State, Gloria Babakaye James, while speaking on the sole administrator's directive for the implementation of the new salary wage for their workers, appealed that the implementation starts from April salary.
Implementation of our CONHES being consolidated health salary structure has just been given directive to be implemented because this issue has been lingering for years. Suspended governor has given that approval, but yet the principal officers of the local government bluntly refuse to adhere to those instructions or days. The sole administrator gave a marching order for the treasurers and HLGs to implement the CONHES. We are waiting for the salary of the health workers to be paid this April for us to confirm the implementation of the salary structure.
On the spot, the spokesperson of retirees in Rivers State, Sam Eke, urged the sole administrator to release the monthly 2 billion naira meant to offset the arrears owed retirees.
As at when due, monthly pension, I have to emphasize on that. But the gratuity and the arrears were owed by the previous administration during Nyesom Wike's administration. And up to date, those arrears cannot be cleared because they are in huge sum. So we are pleading that he should release the 2 billion the former governor was releasing, so that the Ministry of Finance can use that to clear the arrears and also attend to gratuity and death benefits. That is our prayer, the defined benefit scheme. So we are asking that something meaningful should be done so that elder statesmen that have served the state meritoriously could not suffer in the midst of this political crisis.
The chairman of Nigeria Union of Journalists in Rivers State, Paul Bazia, also spoke.
And all democratic structure suspended. And so the workers here are not comfortable with that. And that's why you see us celebrating on a low key. I wish that democratic structures are restored so that we can go back to our normal life. Workers are not happy with our situation. They feel that you can declare state of emergency and still have democratic structures on ground, deploy troops to ensure that there is security and protection of our... Today we heard the broadcast from the sole administrator. He has promised that all of that will be restored. So I think those are the contributing factors to why the mood is like this and the turnout is also like that.
Now, meanwhile, at the TUC Secretariat, members danced and sang in a spirited show of solidarity. The Secretary of TUC in Rivers State, Sunday Danagogo, echoed similar concerns, calling for an immediate end to emergency rule in the state and warning of its economic and social consequences. He said the emergency declaration has disrupted livelihoods and created an atmosphere of fear. He also said no democratic society can thrive where elected leaders are arbitrarily removed at the whims of the president. In Ikwere local government area, the sole administrator there, Mr. Christian Jobawo, charged staff of the council to be committed in the discharge of their duties. Jobawo gave the charge while addressing staff of the council at an event to mark this year's Workers' Day celebration at the council secretariat in Isiobo. He warned that his administration will not tolerate absenteeism and negligence to duty. He assured that he will continue to create a conducive working environment and proper welfare for the workers.
I want to commend the State Administrator, Vice Admiral Ibuokete Ibas, for appointing me as the sole administrator in Ikwere Government Council. We want to thank him for allowing workers of Ikwere Government to come back to work. Since our appointment, we have taken steps, as directed by the State Administrator, to ensure that council activity returns normal. And we have not failed on that. Our task here is simple. We are here to make Ikwere peaceful. We are also here to assist those who come to Ikwere to do one business or the other. The workers should be happy and reflect the need to come to work.
In his address, the acting chairman of Norge in Ikwere local government area, David Agoma, urged workers to continue to reflect on the importance of May Day celebration. He also stressed the need for collaboration between the workers and the government for a greater achievement.
The intention of May Day, right from its beginning, is never to oppose or protest against any government, but a day set aside for sober reflection. The Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees, NOGE, expressed satisfaction and joy with the administration of Sole Administrator of Rivers State, retired Vice Admiral Ebot Ete Eke Ibas, for his exemplary leadership, and Ikwere local government workers count themselves as the luckiest of them all for getting Azar Christian Jobawo, a fellow staff member, as her sole administrator. The union commends him for meeting some of our needs.
Our correspondent reports that the sole administrator also flagged off the 2025 immunization week in Ikwere local government area. Meanwhile, organized labor is asking President Bola Tinubu to immediately reverse what it describes as the unconstitutional suspension of the elected government of Rivers State via a state of emergency. The president of the NLC, Joe Ajero, and the president of the Trade Union Congress, Festus Osifo, made the demand during the May Day rally in Abuja yesterday. The union also demanded for the upward review of the retirement age for all categories of civil servants. Still on this, lecturer Dr. Sunday Edum all government at all levels to be more deliberate in improving workers' welfare. Speaking in an interview with our correspondent, Edum criticized the absence of May Day incentives and lack of a conducive environment in some ministries, agencies, parastatals, and institutions.
There should be increment in salary. There should be a conducive environment where workers are working well. In fact, the welfare of workers is very, very important. Before that Workers' Day, we expect to receive alerts. Workers should start receiving alert in lieu of the celebration, not just their salary. Give them something to make them happy because they are working so hard, but nothing comes. Even the little salary you're supposed to pay them, you have denied them. So what kind of celebration are we doing? I know Nigerian government is allowing it to happen because it's an international experience. If it's something that was being organized by Nigerians, I'm very sure that they will have stopped it. The government is not even interested in keeping a day for workers to be free.
Now, President Bola Tinubu yesterday acknowledged that Nigerians are experiencing economic hardship headlined by rising living costs, hunger, insecurity, unemployment, loss of livelihoods, and the pressure of providing for their families. The president spoke on a day organized labor handed the federal government a 20-point demand urging action on worsening socio-economic conditions in Nigeria, including escalating killings across the country. Speaking during the May Day celebration, Workers' Day at Eagle Square, Abuja, the president, represented by the Minister of Labor and Employment, Mohammed Dingyadi, described the challenges as real, critical, and requiring definite solutions. Now, he said the government will continue strengthening labor protections, improving job security, and ensuring fair treatment for all workers in line with international best practices. Coming up next, Nel Fund denies alleged corruption, misappropriation of student loan funds. Stay with us.
Don't cry, fool.
The news. A socio-cultural organization in River State, the Orashi National Congress, has condemned the declaration of the state of emergency in River State and the suspension of a democratically elected government. In a statement signed by the President General, Emeni Ibe, the Deputy President General, Davis Ojima, and other executive members, the Orashi National Congress described the action of President Bola Tinubu as a reaction to a malicious falsehood of certain individuals and group of persons to seize and control the government in River State for personal interest. Now, it added that the declaration of a state of emergency rule is akin to a coup d'etat on the people of River State and the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The group said the continuation of the state of emergency is taking a great toll on the people, the economy, and called for reinstatement of the democratically elected government of River State. The group also assured the president of its continued support of his renewed hope agenda. And now, as calls for the reinstatement of Governor Simlai Fubara continues to gain momentum, more voices are urging President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to listen to the people of River State. The latest appeal comes from the Ariski political organization in Okrika, who gathered for a one-day prayer and praise session. Speaking on behalf of the group, Dame Claribel Abam read a communique highlighting the positive impact Governor Fubara has had, especially in reigniting the morale of civil servants.
We reflect on the early days of Governor Siminalayi Fubara's administration, when significant progress was made, bringing hope and tangible results to the people. Today, that momentum seems to have been lost, causing distress among citizens. We humbly call upon the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to intervene and restore the mandate of our democratically elected governor. In doing so, we ask that democratic norms be reinstated in Rivers State so that peace, order, and development may flourish once again.
Now, also speaking at the event, the leader of the Ariski political organization, David Alabere, and convener Toku Obianime, said the meeting was not only a show